Good morning. I want to take us to Isaiah 53, 10 and 11 today and show you two concepts and how they communicate something about the doctrine of expiation. Now, yesterday we looked at the doctrine of propitiation, which is the idea that the wrath of God is satisfied at the sacrifice of Christ. Expiation focuses on the idea that sacrifice removes guilt, that it takes it away, does away with it. So in Isaiah 53, 10 and 11 we read, "Yet it was the will of the Lord to crush him. He has put him to grief. When his soul makes an offering for guilt, he shall see his offspring, he shall prolong his days. The will of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. Out of the anguish of his soul he shall see and be satisfied. By his knowledge shall the righteous one, my servant, make many to be accounted righteous, and he shall bear their iniquities." In verse 10, when his soul makes an offering for guilt. In verse 11, he shall bear their iniquities. This takes us to two ideas going back to Leviticus of the sin offering and the scapegoat. Jesus fulfills both of those. And in fulfilling both of those, he does so to a particular end. And that particular end is the removal of your guilt. You're not acquitted, but instead your guilt is removed. Acquitted has the idea that no one is paying for it. You're not just simply having an innocent verdict proclaimed over you, but rather you're rendered innocent because one has been sacrificed to remove that guilt. And this is where propitiation, the satisfaction of the wrath of God, and expiation converge. They come together so that God's wrath is satisfied in Christ. And as a result of that, we have our sin removed and done away with. Scapegoat is an interesting term. That was a term coined by William Tyndale. Going back into Leviticus 16, it just talks about the idea that the scapegoat, the goat that the sins of the people were confessed on, and it was sent out into Azazel, which seems like it's a word for the wilderness. But the idea is it was sent away and the sin was taken away. Your guilt has been removed because Jesus took your place. He who knew no sin was made sin so that you could be the righteousness of God. And you may think, boy, we're talking a lot about this whole sacrifice of Christ. Yeah, we are. Because I want you to understand the nuances of it. Propitiation, the satisfaction of the wrath of God. Expiation, the removal of guilt that comes because of his sin offering and because of his sin bearing, taking away our guilt. May the Lord bless you and celebrate the fact that you have